Welcome to the Monday Night Fan Zone Show. My name's Phil. If you're watching this live, please get your views in, get your comments in. We can talk so much. The international break, well, it's not quite over yet for everybody, but we are going to be looking totally forward, I think, to Manchester United coming to Leicester. How is Vestergaard and Kaglar Soyuncu going to do against Manchester United this weekend? That is what I want your views on. That is what your comments on. Join us live for the next 30 minutes Leicester City chat.
Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. Are you ready for the show? Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. We want your views, we want your comments, so join us live. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV. We are live every Monday night, 7:30 till about 8. And we are live as well tomorrow night with the WSL show with Jack. Wednesday night, Jack will have an away fan on. And it keeps just getting busier and busier as we build up to what will be. It's one of the glamour It's one of those ones that you always look forward to. You know, when the season fixtures come out, we always look forward to when we're going to play teams like Liverpool, Manchester United, don't we? So get your views in, get your comments in there, as many as we can. Ethan says, Lucky Varane and Maguire are out. Philip says, I don't reckon Leicester City are going to beat Manchester United. We'll get onto your score predictions. A few hellos first. Good evening, Karen. Auntie Karen, how are you? Locks all the way out there. I think he's in Cyprus, Greece. His photos on Facebook look amazing. If you're somewhere amazing, Locks, and you want to come on, message me and I'll give you a link. Matty Bond, good evening to you. Hope you're well, Matty. Are you going on Saturday? Jody, hope you're well. Get your views in, get your comments in live. We'll get as many up there as possible. But in return, can you guys do me a favour? All of those of you watching live now, do me a favour and give us a like, give us a share if you're watching on Facebook or Twitter. We're on as well as being on YouTube, of course. So get your views in, get your comments in, give us a like. Reedy says, where's the suit gone? Listen, not so serious tonight, Reedy. Not so serious tonight. We're going to be looking forward. I told you, honestly, when we lose, I get really mardy. I get really fed up, but I let that blow off. And today I'm all excited. I can't wait for us to play Man United. I don't know what it is. I think I'm going to be watching it like this on Saturday because there's a bit of me which I'm trying not to think about is fearing the worst about Saturday. Ronaldo, Man United, Soyuncu, Vestergaard, the form they're in. What do you think about that? But I'm looking forward to it. It'd be typical Leicester that we get points from it. Frustrating. Philip Bliss says, I reckon Cristiano Ronaldo will score for Man United. I think a lot of us are fearing that. The Councillor, good evening. I'm well. How are you? Get your comments in. Imtiaz says, Phil, even possessing a season ticket, I haven't been able to attend any home games due to your disability. However, for Ronaldo, I'll be forcing myself to attend this weekend. Can't wait to watch my childhood hero, Ronaldo. I've got to be fair, Imtiaz. Listen, I'm a Leicester fan. You're a Leicester fan. We're all massive Leicester fans. That's why we do this. But I tell you what, Cristiano Ronaldo, he is, in my eyes, the greatest footballer of my lifetime. So I actually am quite looking. I hope he does play. I'm quite looking forward to see him. I hope he has a really quiet game. And yeah, I'm a bit like Ben. I am praying Johnny Evans will be fit. I don't think he will be, Ben. I really don't think he will be. The Toby128 says, he's watching on YouTube, says, Leicester City 0, Manchester United won, 3 more home points lost. I hope not, the Toby128. I really hope not, because we need, as Tom says here, Tom says, the season starts now. Let's get back on track with a win over Man United. Yes, Ian, I'm with you. I do worry for us a little bit. At some point, things are going to start going right, aren't they? We talked last week a lot about what's going on at Leicester, and I still can't put my finger on it. I hope that those lads come out, the Madisons, the Tielemans. I mean, crikey, some of you guys are saying that Yuri Tielemans and Madison want to move away. Well, if they do, then when we're playing Man United, surely they're going to put in a good performance because surely they want to do it. I'm just going to react here. The councillor says here, he says, really, Ronaldo is a great athlete, but ain't good enough to lace Maradona or Messi's boot. Listen, I did like Maradona. Obviously, I remember him, and he was a great player. But how much did he actually win is what I'd say. And Messi, I would say Messi's done it in Barcelona. He played in pretty much a 2-horse, 3-horse league for most of his life. I just think Ronaldo's done it everywhere he's been. Man United, Juventus, Real Madrid, back at Man United. Listen, if it's one thing that Man United have done more than us, you've got to remember we were tip to toe the last 2 seasons with Man United. Who's going to get Champions League? We fluffed it up 2 years ago. We fluffed it up last year. The signings they've made compared to the signings we've made, we've signed Vestergaard. They've signed Ronaldo. What do you think about that? Hassan says, do you think Vestergaard will have a game against Man United? I hope so. I've seen him play all right this season. The first 2 or 3 games, I actually thought he was all right. But last couple of games, not been good. Same with Ryan Bertrand as well, if I'm honest there. Keep getting your views in. We want your views. We want your comments. Please like, share and subscribe. It's all about Leicester City against Man United tonight. I want your comments. I want your views about how it's going to go. Reedy says the debate over Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is going to be a point every day. But for me, Ronaldo is the greatest. What does GOAT stand for in this? It's greatest of all time. Got the acronyms there. Ben says, yeah, Ronaldo is good, but he wasn't no Josh Lowe. Nor he ain't no Junior Lewis either, isn't he? Joanna says here, Pontus Kamark was available in Ronaldo's pocket. Would you? Well, Joanna, you joke, you jest there. You do jest. Obviously, Pontus Kamark, that fantastic game, the 97 League Cup final where Juninho in his pocket. What would you do, Joanna? Would you put somebody on to man mark Ronaldo? Do you treat him as that special player? I'm going to say now. Listen, you lot, I'm making this up as I go along. I don't think Brendan's got the tactics in him to do that. I don't think Brendan would put a man marker on Ronaldo. I think Brendan is so. I'm not going to say blinkered. I'm going to say focused. You could say blinkered, but I'll say focused on the way we play. That I don't think he would treat this any differently. I think maybe he should against Ronaldo. I definitely think he does. I mean, Dorcas says Ronaldo can't wait to come and swap shirts with Vardy. He probably will as well, to be fair. Vardy probably will do. Reese says, good evening, Reese. Hope you're well. He says, you know what? I'd take Amati with Cags and Vestergaard. I know it didn't quite work out against Legia, but Amati always seems to play well against big teams and players. Reese, you might have a point there. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Do you change it? Do you play 3 at the back? Do you play 5 at the back to try and control him? What do you do to try and control how Ronaldo will play? Dave says, evening, Phil. Be good to see him at the King Power. Yeah, it will be. It will be. It just will be. Wayne says, same as you, want a win but fear the worst. I've got to be fair, Wayne. That is how I'm going to this game. I'm really excited. I am excited to see Ronaldo. I'm excited to see Leicester. I want to see where's this 50, 60 million pound Yuri Tielemans? Where's this 50, 60 million pound Maddison? Where are some of these players? Because trust me, we ain't seen them this season, and we didn't see them for the back end of last season. So where are they? Bring them out. We've got the big guns of Man United coming. The whole world will be watching this sort of game. Let's see it. Let's see it. This game, I know, listen, it's a 3:00 game. This will be shown all around the world on Saturday at the King Power Stadium. Yuri Tielemans, Maddison, Perez, whoever it is, Jamie Vardy, they should all want to be out there. Rich is positive. He says 2-1 to Leicester City. The councillor saying Ronaldo is pretty immobile now. The pitch at his age, but fair play, his positioning is awesome. The councillor, if Ronaldo is pretty immobile now, what is your take? And I want you to type in here, the councillor, sir. What's your take if Ronaldo is immobile? What is Vestergaard? Stationary? Goodness me. Jack says Phil and Jamie sent back to partnership. Crikey. You need to be on top form, Jack, for this. Honestly, top form for the visit of Man United. They're in good. Listen, some people said, oh, they're not in the best form. Look at where they are in the table. Look at where they are. Have they improved from last season? Yes, they have. Aggie says, I'll be happy with the goal on Saturday. Aggie, listen, back before when we was good, you'll all remember the 5-3, wasn't it? The Cambiasso goal. I mean, when that game happened, the 5-3 for Leicester, I thought that's as good as it ever gets. We went on to win the Premier League this season. Did you think that was as good as you would ever see Leicester when we beat Man United? Neil says Man United have got their own defensive problems with Maguire and Varane likely to be out, and I'm sure Vardy will fancy it. It'd be an interesting one, won't it? Jamie Vardy, a lot of us thought he was past it, but he's joint top scorer, I believe, still in the Premier League. Jack says no Varane there. Ben, again, I'm saying where's the 50, 60 million pound Yuri Tielemans? Where is Harvey Barnes? Honestly, he looks amazing in some of these photos and clothes he's modelling, but let's get the real Harvey Barnes back out on the pitch. Joanna says, definitely, I'd have someone man marking him. Why not? We know it works, and to be fair, there's a few players in the league that need completely closing down. If we can't close him down, at least that's one we won't have to worry about. Who would you put onto him, Joanna? How would you man mark him? Want to know your views in there. Reedy says just hope to see Vardy scores and see what's that? The Sul. I take it you mean the Ronaldo one. I mean, he would love to go out there. Willie Moyes, how are you? Will says, evening. I think Leicester can get the result on Saturday. Everton took a point off them, so why not? Brentford is fine. That says our season, Will. That says our season when we're worried about going to Brentford the week after. Come on, Leicester, says Fee. You can do this. We can, but it's going to be an interesting one. David says the 5-3 was the best and most memorable game for me. It was a great game. I'm not going to. Do you know what? At the time, it was probably. I thought when we walked away from the King Power that day, I thought that's as good. It doesn't get any better than that. It did though. It did get better. Ben says, away from home United are one of the best teams in the league. Their away form is frightening. Thanks for that, Ben. Making us even more worried than we are. Jack says, the Yuri Tielemans goal in the FA Cup. Jack, I'm not sure what you're replying to. If Ronaldo is immobile, then Rick Mortis has set him with Vestergaard. Or as Jack is calling Vestergaard, the human lamppost. Is Kel fit to play? Do you know? I don't know yet. Obviously, it's only Monday, so we'll get into team news later on this week. Don't forget, Reedy is live on Friday night at 7:30. So Reedy will give you all the team news and all the build-up on that. Keep getting your comments in as much as you can, as long as it isn't another 6-2 defeat like 1999, says Danny. Oh, Danny, come on. You've got to be a bit more positive than that, mate. Wayne says, the additions they have made, plus Lingard playing out of his skin, I'd settle for that as a Leicester fan. I can dream. Fee's trying to be positive. I know you are, Fee. Keep being positive. Jack saying, you have to bring it up, Phil. Talk about the human lamppost there. Keith says, international weekend. And Phil has come back fresh. But I am, Keith. Trust me, I am so excited for this because I want to. Listen, as fans, we'll be excited on Saturday. I want to see Yuri Tielemans excited. I want to see Maddison excited and Perez, Lookman. I want to see these players. If they can't get up for a game against Man United when we need them to, then I think I'm worried. I'm worried Saturday night at 6 o'clock if I've seen another performance where you think they didn't look that bothered. They didn't look that bothered. I hope so. David says every team is beatable. Man United are no exception. Joanna, yeah, come join us after the game at the Blues Bar. Give us your views. He says, always remember my first full season watching the Foxes. We lost 5-0 to my crikey. I remember that game. That was a long time ago, those games in there. Now, listen, I've got Paris is joining me. Hopefully, she's almost ready. I'll give her another 30 seconds just to join us. Reedy says, I'm positive for this weekend. Fresh from the break. I'm with you, Reedy. Fresh. I'd take a draw, but what we have seen, a win against these will be a huge boost, and everyone should be up for it. Paris, are you ready to come in? She's giving me a nod, yes. Paris, thanks for joining us. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Oh dear. Well, listen, we're trying to get everybody excited for Saturday's game against Man United. Are you looking forward to it?
No, I can't stand Ronaldo. I will argue with every Man U fan about this because I live with a Man U fan. So
why don't you? Well, can't stand him, but you've got to admit he's like one of the best players of all time.
Granted, but I think everyone forgets Messi. I was having an argument with my boyfriend about this the other day, and he was saying, "Oh, Ronaldo's. I only want to go to see Ronaldo." For me, I'm all Messi or Haaland. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think we'd be getting just as excited if Messi was coming, but it is Ronaldo. How on earth are Leicester going to cope with the form Leicester in? How are we going to cope with Ronaldo? And
I would like to see two up front
for Leicester.
Yeah.
And take the game to them a bit.
Yeah, I'd like to see Nacho and Daka.
That means you're going to drop Jamie Vardy in the form he's in?
I would, just to see how Daka... I think Daka deserves a chance. I mean, he was done brilliant in the Europa and he's went in the friendlies, and I don't think we've seen enough of him. And I don't get why signing a great player like him and not putting him on for at least one big game to show what he can really do.
But you've got Jamie Vardy scored. I mean, my stats are not great, but he's scored 6 goals, hasn't he, so far? And he's top joint goal scorer in the Premier League. There's no way he's going to be dropped for this game, is there? Let's be honest.
I would like... Do you know what? When we played Crystal Palace, that was a great game to see him come out of form again, because he was so on point with everything, and so was Nacho. And everyone's saying, oh, maybe start Daka and Vardy, which I think could be good, because they've not had that chance to interact with each other up front yet, which could be nice. And we've seen a lot of Nacho and Vardy, so maybe see Daka and Vardy.
I mean, the councillor says they can't drop Vards. He'll relish playing against the lamppost. Maguire. Well, Maguire's not playing this week, I don't think. But I would say... No, I know. So there is options there, and I think it will suit Vardy or Daka, like you say. But I can guarantee you it will be Jamie Vardy starts.
Oh, yeah. It'll be on his own again.
I'd quite like to see him with Nacho. I think Nacho seems, every time he plays in the last 18, 20 games, to have some sort of influence on the game, Paris.
Yeah. Do you know, I don't understand the popularity why people don't like Vestergaard, because I love him. I think he's great.
Last 2 performances have not been great, though. He has been very slow.
He has, and so is Bertrand, which I do agree with. But signing Bertrand for free is not a bad deal, and everyone's going to have to be off point. I think we're really unconfident at the moment, and I can't really figure out why. And especially with Silent and Evans out, like he doesn't seem normal when Evans is not there. So
I think what worries me a bit more, Paris, is, and we've talked about this, is Yuri Tielemans and players like Tielemans has looked a bit off form, and Didi's looked a bit off form. Maddison's looked a bit off form. Can you try and put your finger on what it is maybe with them?
I think Tielemans I love, and I do have a feeling he's going to go next year, which is granted. Okay, do what you want to do. Dewsbury Hall, I'd like to see play more. Maybe swap it around. Maybe Mindy. I don't know if Mindy is still on injury or what's going to work out for Man U there.
He is. So, he's going to be out for a few games, I believe. Ended he is.
Yeah, but I'd like them all as a three when they work together. I don't know why it's all been off so bad lately. None of them seem very confident on the ball, and the one that's really impressed me lately is got to be, having Daka on for the Europa League. I think I had a discussion the other day in the Premier League and the Europa League. We seem to swap the team. The team in the Europa League compared to the Premier League, we seem to be better doing the Europa. We seem more, oh, I want it, I'm hungry, I want the goals, I want this, I want that. But playing in the Premier League, we seem useless. So maybe swapping. Yeah. We do. We seem useless. Like it's like we're not connecting. Like, oh, I want to pass the ball to this person, but I'll do a lousy pass. But yeah, when we're in the Europa, it's like all fight. That's what I don't get.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think we watched Tielemans in the last game at home and away as well in the Warsaw game, and obviously we've got Moscow coming up. I've not seen Tielemans give the ball away so much as this season. His ball retention, he's looking after the ball's been really poor.
Yeah, he has. He's not consistent enough lately. I don't know what it is. I think maybe do you think he's gone later because he wants to go, Or do you think, oh, we've got a January transfer coming up, or what? We don't know. And that's something that Brendan needs to look at now. Why, after this international break, maybe it can pick up a little bit. And why is this happening? And why is my players, such as a big name like Tillemans, in our team? And are we not having this sort of formation that could work for them? Or I don't know. That's what I think Brendan needs to start to look at, because it's getting on my nerves.
Well, that's fair enough. Paris, what is your take on Brendan's tactics? Because I do feel at times it's focused, it's one dimensional. He doesn't seem to want to change it. I mean, somebody talked about man marking Ronaldo this weekend, but I don't think I think Brendan won't change tactics like that.
I don't think he will. I think he feels too comfortable with what he's had from last season, maybe towards the end of the season, from last season or start of this season. But you know, I really want to see Hamza Chowdhury this week. I really do.
I mean, he made a bit of a surprise start in the last game against Crystal Palace, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Sumari didn't. But we've obviously got Moscow the following week. But for me, the focus has to be Man United at home. I don't want to say it's a must-win game against them, but it really feels like, I say at 6 o'clock, Paris, on Saturday night, if we've lost, but lost by, like we did against Man City, we've lost, but we put in a good performance, I think fans would take that. But if we've lost and you feel like we've not turned up again, I do start to fear.
But I also, as well, what I've noticed when people have wrote on the fan pages or commented on the status about some of how we've been playing, I said, I don't think we've played awful. I think a lot of decisions have gone against us, such as VAR and the referees, like such as the Brighton game. We would have won that if it weren't either offside or all the crap that went around about Vestergaard getting pulled down or Harvey blocking the goalkeeper. And I think all them decisions have gone against us. If it wasn't for them, we would be in a good position. So I think fans need to remember, okay, well, we've done well, we've played well, but just things have gone against us. And I've got a feeling it could happen again against Man U. That's what's going to let us down.
I mean, they do. I mean, obviously, it's been the same for years and years, but it always feels like the big teams like Man United just get that odd decision extra that goes in their favour. Jesse Lingard has been playing well for them. I mean, they've had lots of good players playing well for them at the moment. Who else? We've talked about Ronaldo a little bit. Any other players from Man United you fear that might have an impact against us?
Fred, because then he can give us the ball and we can score. He always does that.
Yeah, he's not their best player by a long way, is he?
Put Fred on, we might have a chance to win a 2-1 if we play Fred. I don't fear Fred. I like Fred. We should have Fred playing through.
I mean, you say your other half is a Man United fan.
My brother.
Oh, your brother. So is there real, like, will it really peak, like, the tension then building up to and around the game?
Horrendous. It is horrendous. Not only that, my dad's a Nottingham Forest fan. So them two, I know, my household's horrendous when it comes to football. So for me, it's like they gang up on me. If it's, my brother's like, oh, what do you think of Ronaldo? I don't care. I really don't care. What do you think of Haaland coming to us next season for Man U and playing against Leicester? Go for it. That's all I get now. But he said earlier, it could be a 2-1 to Leicester because he's worried, obviously they've got Maguire out, Varane out, Cavani, I think, is out still. And they've got Lindelof playing at the back, he said he's bloody useless. So to me, I'm like, he gives me that confidence that we could win.
I mean, you're right, Paris. I think we have to look at our positives. Inacho, the last 18, 20 games, has created a lot of assists, created a lot of goals. Jamie Vardy's top goal scorer in the division at the moment. I like it when you say, let's take the game to them, because if they're going to attack us with Ronaldo and the rest, we're at home. So let's take the game to Manchester United.
Yeah, because what I love as well, when they went all on international break, we always watch the Leicester lads as well as watch England, and we say, like, Tillemans against Ronaldo was incredible, really incredible. He took him out a couple of times. Ronaldo's like, whoa, okay, he's coming up against him, and I really think, hopefully, Tillemans will put his fight into Ronaldo this week, because he got the ball so many times back off him, and I really hope he can do that this time.
James says here, James Hawthorne says, we really do need to take the game to them and the fans need to get behind them. You've been down the King Power this season, Paris, and it's... I have to be careful how I say this, but especially the first few games back, I was really hoping after all that missing of games for 18 months of COVID, I really thought the atmosphere down the King Power would be boom, really, really massive to start with. And it started quieter. I thought it's got a bit better the last bit of some of the games. But what we really need, I think, for the fans is a Man United game and a game where Leicester have a go. What's your take on the atmosphere at the King Power at the moment?
I think it's not been great. I mean, such as when we played Burnley, they're in either Brendan or Madison. That's not how it should be. It should be. I know we brought Lookman off, and I know that he's everyone's favourite at the moment because he's mine. But the thing, we all need to stay as one group, and I think the fans should be backing their players through good or bad. And this is the problem that the fans are not getting at the moment. The amount of comments in the atmosphere, you know, that when I hear a lot behind me saying, "Get Vestergaard off, he should go back to Southampton," or this or that, and it's terrible because you think these people are playing for you, and you know you just want to have a win. We get that, but a draw's a draw, a loss is a loss, and a win's a win. And the atmosphere has not been great. I'll be honest, it's not. When we played Wolves, I loved it because it was my first Premier League game as well, and the atmosphere was brilliant. But even on the away games, it doesn't seem as great either. So I don't know what's going on with the fans at the moment either.
So we need a big. We just need a big performance, and I think I'm looking forward to this weekend. I think it will. Before I let you go, Paris, thanks a lot for joining us. It's been great to get a fresh face on Leicester Fan TV. But I do need your score prediction, please. I need to know who you think is going to score the first goal on Saturday and what the final score is going to be.
I think Iheanacho is going to score the first. Vardy for a second, and I'm going to go for a 2-1.
So Iheanacho and Leicester to win 2-1.
Yeah.
Well, that would be good. Then you could, you'd have bragging rights in your house over your brother. And I've got to be fair, you've got bragging rights over your dad for the next 10 years.
This poor man.
Poor guy.
He's not a Derby fan, no.
He's still living on his 1977 triumph. Anyway, listen, Paris, thank you for joining us. It's been great to have you on. Hopefully you'll join us again. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paris. That was great to get her on and get some fresh views in as well. Now, we've got a couple of minutes left for you to get your score predictions in. I want to know your score predictions. Who's going to score first? What would you do as well? How do we deal with Ronaldo? I've not seen anybody put anything in. Joanna said about maybe doing some man marking. I can't remember. Somebody said about getting Amati in. I think it was Reece said, get Amati back in there. I don't think Amati's done anything wrong at all and not been in there. But I do... we need Vestergaard to lead that back line. Soyuncu is not a leader. He can have a good game, but he's not a leader. And I think we need Vestergaard to step up and lead that back line. Imtiaz says, any win this weekend would be a blessing. Reedy, performance, I think, is going to be the big thing for fans this week. Reedy says, I don't mind if we lose as long as we play well. What I don't want to see, Reedy, is us lose and play abject. That's my fear for this. 3-1 United with a Ronaldo hat-trick and Vardy to score a goal, says Josh. Bazza says 2-1 to City. Who cares about United or anyone? We're Leicester, aren't we? We are, aren't we, though, Bazza? We're all Leicester. The councillor says 4-2 us would be nice. Kelechi Iheanacho with a brace, Vardy and Yuri Tielemans. Join me after the match on Saturday, Andy, and we'll debate that, because some of the substitutions, the last two games, have been the biggest questions from the fans against Burnley and away at Palace. The substitutions, I think a lot of us were raising our eyes. Willie says Leicester need to score first. 2-1 to the Foxes. Vardy to score first. Jack says can't afford to keep dropping points now. We're getting dragged in. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Jack. A defeat this weekend, we don't want to look at where the table will take us. Paris says, that was Paris who just joined us, says, thanks for having her on. Bring on the Reds. Paris, you are welcome anytime to come on Leicester Fan TV. Thank you for joining us. Imtiaz says, international football. Do you know what? Imtiaz, I used to love watching England. I really do. I don't know what it is. The last year or so, even the Euros, I've just found it is a bit dull. Wayne says, I'm going 2-1 to Leicester. Let's do this. Good positivity from Wayne. Keith says Soyuncu to sacrifice himself by taking out Ronaldo. Oh, God. A Soyuncu sliding tackle, Keith, against Ronaldo. Oh, it's got red card all over it, hasn't it? It really has. It really has. The councillor says if Rodgers keeps with Madders' love, he is playing with fire. Well, listen, he has dropped Madders the last couple of games. You've got to give it to Rodgers. He has been trying to do something in there. Bazza says I might be silly to ask here, but I think it's not Rodgers, but maybe his backroom staff need to step up with what they put in on the training ground. I don't know, Bazza. We'll see, won't we? Listen, a win against Man United, and we'll all be saying we're going to win the league. I know what it's like. I feel super positive for this week. I am really excited for it. I'm glad it's Man United this week. I'd rather be playing Man United than playing Leeds or Norwich or somebody, you know, or God help us, Newcastle this weekend. I'm glad we are playing Manchester United. I'm glad it's at the King Power Stadium because there's 30,000 Leicester fans who can get going and get cheering the lads on, and that is what we need, if you ask me. That is exactly what we need. We need the fans backing the players, but we need the players to back the fans. I want to see something from the players. Flashes of it this season. That goal away at Brighton, superb. Way too much abject, giving the ball away, not running hard enough, not running fast enough, not breaking fast enough. It's got to change. It's got to change, and it will do this weekend. If not, we're going to have some very lively shows on Leicester Fan TV. Trust me. What have we got on this weekend then? We have got Jack is live tomorrow night at 7:30 on Leicester Fan TV with his WSL. They're having a shocking start to the season, the ladies. Leicester City women, oh my goodness me, they can't buy a win at all. Lost 2-0 away at Chelsea on Sunday. So go join Jack and you can have a grumble with him tomorrow night. Wednesday night he's got an away fan, so somebody from a Man United fanzine on for a chat there. Thursday night Tom is doing the predictions show. Friday night Reedy is pre-match all the way. So join Reedy 7:30 on Friday. That will be exciting. We're doing a watch along and we'll be live from outside the ground. Come and join me and the others before the game. But more importantly, come and find us after the Man United game. Outside, we'll be videoing and recording as many views from as many different fans as we can outside the Blues Bar. So come and join us then. And then Jamie will be doing... Jamie's actually going to do an aftermath show, which is post-match on Sunday morning. So loads coming up. Thank you for your... all your comments. It's been great having you all on. We'll see you tomorrow night with Jack at 7:30. Cheers.
Thanks for watching Leicester Fan TV. Thanks to our sponsors, ADT Taxis, Everards, Pukka Pies, Pink Car Leasing, Leicester Riders, Hollogram, The Fox's Arms, Peter's Pizzeria, Hope Against Cancer, and Newby Co estate agents. Make sure to follow us on all of our social channels at Leicester Fan TV. Visit our website, leicesterfantv.com.